Brother sold my secrets for cash. Everyone expects betrayal from strangers. You never expect it from your own brother, especially when you've spent your entire life protecting him. My name is Ryan, and the worst thing my brother ever stole from me wasn't money, it was my trust. Growing up, my younger brother Tyler was my shadow. If I got into trouble, he followed. If I played basketball, he wanted to play too. I was the responsible one. He was the risk taker. Whenever he made a mistake, I covered for him. I lied to our parents when he crashed Dad's truck into a mailbox. I helped pay off his credit card debt after college. When he lost his apartment, he lived in my guest room for almost 6 months. I always believed family looked after each other. Maybe I believed it a little too much. 3 years ago, I launched my own software company. It wasn't huge, just me and 4 employees working out of a tiny rented office. We developed inventory software for small businesses. Nothing glamorous, but it was finally starting to succeed. Tyler couldn't keep a steady job, so I hired him, not because he was the best candidate, because he was my brother. Everyone warned me, don't mix family with business. I ignored them. For the first few months, everything went well. He handled customer support. Clients liked him. He was friendly, confident, funny. Then little things started happening. A competitor somehow knew about. Features we hadn't announced. Clients we'd been negotiating with suddenly disappeared. One potential investor canceled a meeting after receiving anonymous information questioning our financial stability. None of it made sense. At first, I blamed bad luck. Then one afternoon, my business partner walked into my office holding a printed screenshot. You need to see this. It was a private conversation. Mine, messages I'd sent Tyler months earlier, ideas, business plans, financial projections, even personal frustrations I'd shared about employees. Every message had been forwarded, not accidentally, intentionally, to our biggest competitor. I stared at the screen. There had to be some mistake. Tyler would never, would he? I checked the metadata, dates, times, everything matched. Someone had sold confidential information, and that someone had access only because I trusted him. I confronted Tyler that evening. At first, he denied everything, claimed the screenshots were fake. Then I showed him the payment records. The competitor had transferred thousands of dollars to an account under his name. His shoulders dropped. I was going to tell you. No. You were going to keep taking the money. He couldn't even argue. Finally, he admitted the truth. The competitor approached him through social media. At first, they only wanted harmless information, office schedules, upcoming product launches, nothing major. Then they offered cash. $1,000 became $5, $5 became $10. Eventually, Tyler convinced himself it wasn't really stealing. They would have figured it out anyway. That's what he told himself. Greed has an incredible ability to rewrite reality. The hardest part wasn't the money we'd lost. It was hearing my own brother describe my trust as a business opportunity. I fired him immediately. He begged me not to, said he'd repay everything, said he'd made a mistake. Maybe he believed that. But some mistakes aren't accidents. They're decisions repeated over and over. The legal consequences came quickly. The competitor settled out of court after our attorneys uncovered enough evidence. Tyler wasn't so lucky. He avoided prison by cooperating with investigators and accepting a plea agreement. Watching my little brother stand before a judge was something I never imagined. Neither did our parents. Mom cried through the entire hearing. Dad barely spoke for weeks. Family gatherings became painfully awkward. Half the relatives blamed Tyler. The other half blamed me. You shouldn't have involved the police. He's your brother. Maybe, but he hadn't acted like one. For almost a year, we barely spoke. Then one evening I received a text. No excuses. I just want to apologize. Against my better judgment, I agreed to meet him. He looked completely different. Older, quieter, less certain of himself. He slid an envelope across the table. Inside was a check. Not enough to cover all the damage, but every dollar he'd managed to save. I know this doesn't fix anything. I know. I just need you to know. I hate the person I became. For several minutes, we sat in silence. Finally, I asked, why? He looked down. I got addicted. To the money? He shook his head. To feeling important. That answer surprised me. He admitted that, for the first time in his life, people wanted something from him. Executives called him, praised him, made him feel valuable. He confused being useful with being respected. By the time he realized they were only using him, it was too late. I didn't forgive him that day. Honestly, I couldn't. Forgiveness isn't something you owe someone because they apologize. It's something that grows slowly, if it grows at all. Years have passed since then. We're speaking again, carefully, politely, but things are different. He'll never have access to my business again, not because I enjoy punishing him, because trust isn't rebuilt with words. It's rebuilt through years of consistent actions. He's trying. I'll give him that. He works an ordinary job now, pays his bills, keeps his promises, little by little. Whether that's enough, time will decide. Looking back, the biggest loss wasn't the confidential information, or the clients, or even the money. It was discovering that the person I defended my entire life was willing to sell pieces of it for a paycheck. People say blood is thicker than water. Maybe, but character is stronger than both. Family can earn your love automatically. Trust has to be earned separately, even between brothers. If you've ever been betrayed by someone you never thought would hurt you, share your story in the comments below. Sometimes the deepest wounds aren't caused by enemies. They're caused by the people who already knew exactly where to strike.